Saturday morning looks like. What's going on, man?
Gotta get up, get some breakfast, and get to it.
Daggone, what the day gonna look like, man? What we doing today?
Shoot, out and about, going to the gym, got some talks to do, and keep on growing.
All right, talk about the sport, man. Where we at, man? What we doing?
We're on COVID. That's where we're at. Everything's on hold. Everything's on lockdown. So unfortunately, there's very few states that are allowing the sport to continue. Fortunately, we are staying pretty active in states like Tennessee and in other small areas, but the bulk of the country is just shut down. So that's the state of what 2020 combat sports is.
Yeah, so we over here at Cincinnati, man. What brought us out here, man?
Cincinnati, we come out to meet with Rich Franklin and do a little bit of training at Jorge Gurgel's gym, just to have some chats. Rich is the vice president of One Championship, so he's got a lot to offer, and there's some things coming our way in the United States from One Championship. So those things aren't public yet, but we're gonna have some conversations and see where it goes.
All right, so cool.
Well, we're here in Cincinnati. I had some other business to attend to while I'm here. But while I was here, I took the opportunity to meet up with Rich Franklin. Rich Franklin's a former UFC champion and the current vice president of One Championship. He lives here and trains in Cincinnati full-time. When he's not in Singapore, obviously, he's moved to One Championship full-time. But he trains with Professor Jorge Gurgel, who's a UFC legend in his own right, one of the first to come out of the state of Fortaleza in Brazil, or the town of Fortaleza, and that's where he's from. So we're in the same lineage of jiu-jitsu. He got his black belt from my Professor Gibson Saw's brother, Sazinho Saw, so we're all the same lineage. There's only a handful of SOS gyms in the United States, so it's a good opportunity to go in and train with another SOS team affiliate. And training with someone, Professor Gurgel's caliber, and getting to train with Rich is a just unmentionable opportunity. So I'm excited to meet those guys and chat about some opportunities moving forward. So you already know GAMMA is the Global Association of Mixed Martial Arts. They're the international federation working towards achieving Olympic recognition for the sport of MMA. They've been working very hard at it. They formed a relationship with One Championship, and Chatri himself has really backed the push to get Olympic recognition for the sport of MMA. So there's a very strong bond between GAMMA and One Championship. GAMMA on the amateur side and One Championship on the professional side, and providing opportunities for fighters once they move through the GAMMA ranks. For us, the USFMMA, we're going to be moving our name to GAMMA USA in the future, just to try to solidify everything towards the Olympic recognition. But as it stands, we're currently the only recognized federation in the United States allowed through GAMMA to present a U.S. national team at the World Championships coming up. So that's our goal, is to grow the sport of amateur MMA throughout the USA, and we need to do that by adding club memberships, adding athletes and coaches who believe in what it is that we're doing and trying to achieve Olympic recognition. So I think it'll open a lot of doors for a lot of athletes, not necessarily that want to compete in the Olympics, but just want the opportunity to portray themselves onto a larger stage or an international stage. So I'm excited to see where it goes, and this is a good step, being in Cincinnati and meeting with these guys.
Don't stay in range. Don't stay in range. Don't stay in range. Yeah? Lock him up or stay out. That's it. Out. Yeah, out. Hold on. There's chest. That's like this.
I had to come to Cincinnati, and I know Rich was here. And hey, I got to come up there. He's like, come to class. I'm like, oh, all right. So I've been playing around. Yeah, that worked out. And I've met Gurgel. He's come down and scored fights.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Dude, this coach, but I feel Saturday's my favorite day. Like spar, it's my day. I come to it in my shots, like enjoy it. And until this feels better, I can't. Like, this is almost better than carpal tunnel. It's not bad, carpal tunnel. And tennis or whatever it is my favorite. So I'm recouping. It's my third week that I don't spar. Yeah. So even after this spar, I'm like, I don't feel fulfilled at all. I'm not fulfilled. They're punching anybody in the face. They're kicking anybody in the face. I didn't not bloody or sweaty. And I can't really do jiu-jitsu. So I go home like this. I still go home like, how was class? I'm like, I was good, but I got sacked. How are you, man? I'm good. Because you didn't yell, sparring, and
yeah, I see. Well, I think I saw Sam. Where'd he go?
Sam's hiding.
Yeah,
he's got a good deal, right?
He's ducking me.
I would too if I was 240 pounds. However,
You'll never know. These two, how you doing, man? Hey, that's all good, man. I'm about to get sweaty. Get in here.
I gotta get ready to go.
I've been talking to your wife, man. I gotta see her at the gym. You know, just come in here, you're beating up on all these different kids.
We're doing no D. You can one line it for me. You can just one line it for me. Thank you so much.
Come on, Frank. Stop.
Just one line, shoulder to shoulder. You can fit in there. Don't be shy.
There we go.
Why are you walking like an ogre? Where everybody knows you're big. Thank you.
That don't work actually because you didn't get the word yet. How's everybody doing? The feeling.
Good, sir.
Guys, he doesn't pick up his phone anymore because it's really, really famous. So even his best friend doesn't pick up the phone anymore. So I try to explain that I don't expect anything. I don't take anything for granted, but I really appreciate it. I don't want to charge anybody. I want you to come here and show my students what you're home. Come back home and teach your class. So that everybody that never had a chance to really train with him or learn from him, because he had really good coaches. So you get a chance to learn from him. And he goes, George, I would never charge. I would never would. I'm like, no. I'm just letting you know that I'm not bringing you Rich Franklin here. Just come home and just appreciate it. That's what martial arts do. We pay it forward. Nobody's paying a dime, and nobody knew he was going to be here. And you want it like this. They say, I want to surprise you, George. Why? Because listen, what happens when you miss class is accountability. We're the same breed right here. Accountability. If you're here, yeah! If you missed because you just drank too much last night and you felt poopy this morning, you want to skip Saturday day, like the professional fighters nowadays, bro.
Can you even go out drinking?
I don't know, but they find a way. When there's a will, there's a way. That's why there's a lot of excuses not to be here. All right, y'all, get out a little bit. Okay, slow it down for me. Nice and low base, please. There you go.
Never allow anybody to take out the ninja. I'm not really sure what I'm supposed to do with my hands.
Stretch those legs out.
This is bumbling.
Now we're going to get creative and let me test the rhythm. In two, out two, please.
Yeah. MMA or no, you have to get up every time.
Yeah. This. It's underhook, this, management, space, head management. All right. So this is a big detail here. So when you guys, what I want you to do on this shield guard pass here is, or on this thing is, what I want you to do is start fighting for the underhook, like back and forth. You're not really fighting like, obviously top guy is losing because you want the bottom person to win. But I want the people on the bottom to pay attention to the placement of your elbow, so you're not doing this kind of underhooking here. 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 Think I'm fine now. See, that's all I need to do.
You get greedy. Everybody try to pass the leg before they win the under. Black belts in front. There you go. White belts, steer yourselves.
All right, what's going on, fight fans? Hey, this is Coach D, Darrin Eaddy with Gamma USA. Today we're talking with Rich Franklin. We're going to talk about the development of mixed martial arts, where we're going on a national level and international level. So, of course, you know, I'm with Gamma USA. We cultivate amateurs competing on the national level, then going to the international level with Gamma and One Championships. And now we have Rich Franklin talk about where we can go from there with, you know, One Warrior Series and things like that. So, Rich, tell us, from your standpoint, where do you see mixed martial going down the line in the future?
Well, you talk about organizations like Gamma, for example, and you work with amateur organizations. I think that beyond working with amateur athletes, there's this gap that you have to have between the amateur fights that you have and then the professional fights at a top level, like within One Championship. So there has to be something that closes the distance there, and that's where smaller, organizations, professional organizations or pro-am organizations come into play. At One, we'll typically try to partner with these organizations locally, all over. For us locally, we're out of Singapore, so locally you start talking about that region that we're in, whatever, and we partner with these organizations, and that's where we pull talent from. But another thing that we did with One is we created my organization, the One Warrior Series, and this is an organization where I travel around and I actually recruit talent for that. And this is a professional organization, but in a sense, this is a breeding ground where athletes can get the experience that they need at call it, a show that's not obviously a top tier show like One Championship, because there's a lot of experience that you get from whether you're competing as an amateur, whether you're competing as called a lower level pro or something like that. Everything from perfecting your technique to learning how to manage a crowd, adrenaline dump, and things like that. And that's where these grounds of being an amateur and even these other professional, the smaller organizations can help feed into these larger organizations.
So do you wait till you see a fighter compete at a show, or do you recruit them from a gym? How do you follow a fighter? You just wait to see how they perform overall?
It all depends. I mean, obviously there are certain gyms around the world that we have. For example, like we work closely. I'll give you an example of a gym on the other side of the world, Team Lakai in the Philippines. And so when you're suddenly seeing film of a kid that's out of a gym like Team Lakai, then okay, hold on. You can tell right away by looking at the film, I want to take a look at this guy, and so this is exactly what I'll do. I'll travel to that area and have a look at him personally. The best way hands down to recruit somebody is by seeing how they actually compete.
Yeah.
Right? So going to a local show or something like that and seeing how they handle themselves, because you can watch somebody practice and it's never a 100% indicator. You can be a beast on the mats, but that doesn't always 100% translate into competition as well.
Well, this is a question that I get a lot since I came back from Singapore from watching. I was there for Edge of Greatness, and I was able to be with the media team. So I saw the behind the scenes. So a lot of people are asking me, what is the difference from a promotion like UFC and a promotion One Championship? What do you say is the difference between the two? Since you're part of both.
Oh, I mean, you're gonna get into things that are like stuff like how we market our athletes, company vision, all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But from a fan perspective, if you just want to look at athletes, you're comparing top tier quality athletes to top tier quality athletes. And,
gotcha. You think we ever see a collab where you see one champion fight another champion from another organization?
You know what? I mean, I'll say this. I've been asked questions my whole life about where do you think the ceiling of this sport is and all that kind of stuff. Of course. And the sky's the limit, man. You never know. This is not me saying like I'm promoting that or anything like that. But you just trying to predict the future. You never know. So at the current stage of things, it's not anytime soon. But man, I mean, crazy things have happened.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, you see, we'll make a quick conversation with Rich Franklin. He's a busy guy. I just want to kind of get the landscape so we can let fans know and fighters know where we're going in the future. Once again, this is Darrin, Coach D, talking with Rich Franklin. Thank you for your time.
Hey, pleasure.